Welcome, everyone, to the Couch Potatoes and Sports Tragics podcast.
Are we actually one or the other? We're joint potatoes?
We're two potato heads and two sports tragics.
Did you ever have them as a kid? Is this where this came from?
Mr. Potato Head and Mrs. Potato Head?
Yeah, maybe after the State of Origin, although, the result was a bit harsh. I was thinking we'd get little potato head scarves and you could have State of Origin potato heads.
You might be onto something.
I think we might be.
That was Jetsetter Jordan in the background. I'm the Sportsologist. And we're going to sort of recap the fairly disappointing State of Origin match the other night. That's if you're a New South Wales Blues supporter, like both of us.
Yes, yeah, there's no hiding the potential how we saw the game. But anyway, that's okay. Well, we're declaring our colours, so, so be it.
We are, and obviously Suaalii there, he had the shortest State of Origin career of all time because he isn't available next year because he goes to rugby next year on a $5 million contract.
He does. So, because he had nothing to lose. But I saw the interview with him, and he did say, he sincerely did not mean to do it, and so be it. However, on the Queensland side, Slater continually, and he was drilled on for a lot, just said no comment. You don't want to know what I think, which is pretty obvious that he was pretty filthy about it. What's your take?
Well, the conspiracy theories are going around that it was an intentional takeout of Reece Walsh. I really can't believe that. When you look at the tackle, he was going in to hit him pretty hard, and he's 6'4". I don't know how tall Reece Walsh is, but he's no giant. And of course, he lost his footing. I think he would have taken him ball and all around the chest, but slipping the way that he did, he collected his head. It was a nasty one, but I can't see how you can say that was an intentional thing to take him out. He intentionally meant to hit him hard, but not around, that's for sure.
There's no doubt, and I think we talked last podcast, when we're talking down at Fortunate Sons there, that people are going to be targeted. There was no doubt about it, and you did mention that Walsh was going to target it. So that's probably who they're going for, but there's no way Suaalii or anyone like that, in my opinion. When you look at it backwards, conspiracy theories, like after 6 minutes, would he sacrifice his whole career and all that kind of thing? Yeah, they might have been told to hit him hard or hit everyone hard, would be my guess. But you wouldn't lie for you, especially after 6 minutes, I don't think. But yeah.
Look, it was, he zeroed in on him. He probably saw him come around the back of the ruck like he did. And that's the issue with Reece Walsh. He plays a very high-speed game. Now, when you play a really high-speed attacking game, those things are going to happen for sure, because there's no way he nearly still had the ball in his fingertips when he was tackled. He got the ball away very, very quick, and there was no way that Suaalii pull out at all.
No, I think in today's day and age, we're seeing this AFL, NRL, NFL, everything with head knocks and that kind of thing. I think 12 months ago, he might have got 10. But I think now, with the way everyone's going, that the ref almost had no choice, even if it was accidental, to come down harshly on it. The way everyone's talking about head knocks and what's going on for safe players, I don't think the ref really had much choice.
Well, he did. He had a choice of 10 minutes, but I think, because remember, he did let the play go for nearly up to a minute, 45 seconds to a minute before he actually then blew his whistle. Yeah. I think, but a lot of referees in that case, I'm sure he obviously saw it, and he probably thought, well, I'll let the bunker deal with that while play goes on.
Yeah, and as I said, I think the play had gone into a safe area, and they stopped it again when I saw that he wasn't moving, or the stretch call, which makes a lot of sense. But I don't think the play would have gone on if it was still in the danger zone, hadn't moved as far on it had.
Yeah. So my solution to that, it sort of definitely affected the game. New South Wales being down one man for 72 minutes of the game. Queensland absolutely tore them to shreds on New South Wales right-hand defence where Suaalii normally was. They had Nico Hines there trying to plug the gaps, and they went crazy down that left side. Selwyn Cobbo and the guy they call the Hammer, that they just, and they played very much like an All Black side. It sort of reminded me of the way they just popped the ball up and there was a guy there, and it was great to watch. But it was big disadvantage not having Suaalii in there.
Well, it was almost a setup of forwards versus backs. When you look at the bench, South Wales, they went in for top heavy, and it was always going to be the game brute sort of string against the back. So if you lose someone like Suaalii, then you're going to tie it anyway.
Yeah, Billy Slater's masterstroke of having Selwyn Cobbo on the bench to cover outside backs paid off in big numbers once Reece Walsh went off, because they pushed Hammer back to fullback and Selwyn Cobbo came came in on the wing, or he floated around actually on the wing and outside centre, and just caused havoc.
Yeah, moving on a little bit from that, I mean, we can pull that apart all day, and it was very disappointing because I think Blues had to have everything going for them, and to be disadvantaged 6th, 7th minute was, we know what would happen. I will take the hats off. I think they came out in the second half. They had a good chat in the break, and they did come out that first 10, 15 minutes and come in hard. They didn't get reward for effort, and obviously they ran out of juice, and that's when Queensland ran over the top of them. You see it so often, that one side just keeps hitting, and keeps getting defended, and just that one little break, and away they go. And I think that's what happened in State of Origin 1. Despite the Blues' best effort, I do commend the guys how they came out of the second half.
Well, Queensland are good at doing that on the fast break after having defended for quite a long time. And you're correct. New South Wales, that first 15 or 20 minutes in the second half, they can take a lot out of that for sure. And they've got to focus on what they did there. And the main thing was that they held the ball for quite a long time. I think they were going at 75% possession in the first 20 minutes. Really, Jake Trbojevic, he played 29 minutes, I think, of the game as captain. Was
it that much?
I think he played 29 minutes, I saw today.
It must have come on for a fair chunk at the end there.
Yeah, he came on for a little bit at the end, but I can't see how he's going to be captain again next time. Thinking it might go to Isaiah Yeo next time. He probably will start. Trbojevic there, I saw him eat gas trying to chase someone there in one of those tries. But look, my little idea, and this is taking an idea from Super Rugby, is that the player, when he's sent off, he's off for the game. But there's an option of, in Super Rugby, after 20 minutes, you can then replace that player with someone from the bench. Now, you can either do 10 minutes or you can do 20 minutes. But I think bringing someone off the bench will then put both teams back to 13. You're still at a disadvantage because you've got one less person on the bench. You've had someone missing for either 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whichever you like to do.
20 minutes, quarter of the game.
It is, a lot of the game. But they do that in Super Rugby. They've been playing that for a year or so, and it seems to work. It's still keeping that spectacle of the same amount of players on each other, whether it's 13 or 15, as in rugby. But I think that is a good solution to, the argument that it really probably was possibly the end of the series, It's how, Queensland really, it was such a big advantage at being 1-0. I think it's 75% of teams that have won the first game have won the series.
Got to sat on top of that and you lose on your home turf.
Absolutely. And
they've still got Suncorp to go. Melbourne,
always hard,
neutral.
Always hard winning at Suncorp.
Suncorp's crazy.
It's as I said before, it's a cauldron there, and everything is in Queensland's favour. The MCG is a neutral ground. Yeah, but obviously Wales have to win, and I think they're going to be making a few changes. I'm thinking if Dylan Edwards is fit, he will take Tedesco's spot back.
Yeah, because Tedesco did all right.
He did all right.
Obviously, he had to.
He did all right, but they're missing someone with flair. And look, Teddy's, as we said the other night, I think he passed the ball once, twice.
Yeah, I must have missed it.
Yeah, he takes the ball up willingly, but Dylan Edwards has just got that flair, and he sniffs the try out. Nico Hines, I think he's gone. I did see some reports today that maybe they might give Mitchell Moses a run, but he's only just come back from injury.
Yeah,
so he'll be underdone.
How's he been going for the Eels? Has he had a couple of good games?
He's been out for quite a while, but he came back last week and went really well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what, if he can prove himself that he's come back strong, you'd have to consider him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because Nico Hines definitely his running and kicking game below par for sure.
Yeah, quite interesting his kicking game, like the short, he did a couple of real short ones, which in my opinion came up, wasn't getting close to the, getting inside there, behind the line to really put pressure on. The kicks that he did do, a lot of them, there really was no pressure.
I just don't know why sides aren't using the grubber a little bit more and putting it into the dead goal area and trying to get 6 more tackles back. There's nothing better than 6 tackles, sets of 6 tackles, one after the other to really exhaust, defences.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And they put these little ones up in the air. I know we spoke in the promo at Fortunate Sons. We spoke about, I was thinking that New South Wales were going to bomb them because they had most of their outside backs were quite tall. And I think Suaalii was 6'4", Lomax is 6'3", I think, Crichton's 6'3". So they were definitely going to look at bombing out wide, and that's how Nico Hines played. Feel they need to put ball in behind them a little bit more, a little bit like the try that they did score, that Tedesco scored, and Jerome Luai put that ball in behind. You've got to get their defences turning. Reece Walsh, as good a fullback as he is quite often can be out of position.
Yeah.
So, it's you've got to just wear them.
Yeah, I mean, last year's grand final, you could question a couple of positions. Cleary went through him.
Absolutely. Yeah. His defence is not the greatest, but look, he more than makes up with that attack. He's great. Unfortunately,
he is a Queenslander. I think just a couple of girls I've spoken to might quite good for the game too.
I think he's pretty popular. He has got a little daughter, so he has got a partner of some sort there. So I think he's taken girls. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. So what next for them, for the New South Wales?
Well, I think he's got to regroup. I think when you think about what happened there, to try and recover it at any level would be difficult. You would not have a contingency plan for dropping down to 12 and losing someone of that calibre. So how they did it, and then that, I think, once again, that half-time rev-up or whatever happened, I think they still came out with a lot of passion, a lot of fight, and ran out of juice. So there's a lot to work with. And it's a young side. You're going to expect there's going to be mistakes, going to be things happen, let alone playing with 12 men. So if you want to see an upside, I think the upside is just what we saw in the start of that second half, and I still think there's a lot of passion, a lot of spirit there. Yeah, there's a long way to go. This might be about as they call it, a rebuilding phase, but trying to hang on each year, it hasn't worked either. So are we looking at a dip for the next 2 years, say with the Blues, while we build something?
Well, I think we missed Cleary more than they missed Munster. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We really definitely missed Cleary. He's another level above any other player in the code.
Yep.
And I know that Daly Cherry Evans won the man of the match. Yeah, and he did dominate.
He did do very well.
But yeah, the other two opponents he was up against, they weren't anywhere in Cleary's standard. Cleary, he can take a game by the scruff of the neck and turn it around, as he did in that grand final last year against Brisbane.
Almost every time you mention that guy's name, I think of that grand final. I still don't know how that. Anyway, it did.
It did, and we really did miss him. Did and played well in Munster's place. Scored a try. He did a lot of kilometres. I think I was looking at the stats.
Who'd you put up as New South Wales best as well? There was a couple of people that did all right.
Well, Lomax, after a pretty quiet first 20 minutes, really got involved, and he did a lot of running in the game, and I think he was up with about 9.4 kilometres he ran for a game. Yeah, so he did a lot of work. And Reece Robson, he did credible amount of tackling and ran a lot of kilometres in the game for New South Wales. But I think that Reece Robson, defensively, yes, he's good, but I think they've probably got to bring Api Korokai back in from playing for Tigers. They're not well, they've stayed straight, but he is an innovative player, and probably was a little bit of he would have been a close selection in the first one. But they just need someone to construct and create opportunities. That's what Cleary does, so that's Korokai does. They need someone to take the game by the balls, so to speak.
Yeah, and they didn't have, I know they had Tedesco, and he might have come in as a leader with experience, but it was hard for Boy to do it because he wasn't bloody field. But I think to have someone like Cleary out sort of steady the ship will go a long way with the younger guys, because no one, in my opinion, really stood up, and therefore was a little bit directionless. And I think you really need that person there to steer the helm when you especially got such a young group. Yeah,
look, talking about Dearden, I just brought the stat up. He actually he ran for the most kilometres in the game. He ran 9.81 kilometres a game.
Good effort.
Yeah, great effort. Zach Lomax was second, and
but you'd run that in a year, would you, mate?
Struggling 10 years. What are you talking about? I remember when I did used to run competitively, and anything over 1,500, mate, that's it. 15.
Running competitively, it's like, I'm trying to bring it together.
I did represent my state as a runner.
Was there was there a nice meal? I was saying, what was your running? There was a big incentive up there at the end there, mate. It was like, it was a big chocolate cake or something at the end there to get you motivated.
No, I used to run everywhere, and represented ACT at the Sydney Cricket Ground for Wales titles and stuff, and I was a runner.
Everybody's surprise packet.
But enough about me. Listen,
I was going to stir you up, and I've been destroyed.
And look, I promise, I promise I'm not going to say anything about the Canberra Raiders at all. Except for Hudson Young, he had a good game when he did come on. What
do they call that? I'm not going to talk about it, and you do? Bullshit?
Yeah, something.
There we go. Let's call that. We'll call it bullshit. I think I like bullshit.
That. So you look, a lot of soul searching has to be done by New South Wales. Queensland, well, look, you said it a few episodes ago. Slater again outcoached a New South Wales Origin coach. He definitely did. He made all the good calls on his selections, especially picking Selwyn Cobbo, which, as I said, was a masterstroke in the end when they lost Reece Walsh, and New South Wales had nothing to combat that when they lost one of their outside backs. So a bit of rethinking from Michael Maguire, and
And look, not sticking up for the again, because I do want to talk about, if we've got time to talk about the Maroons and what an incredible team they were. I mean, this time last year they almost had no chance. I don't know what the betting odds were, but they certainly weren't going in favourites. And he's won the last two and will continue to. And he just brings the boys together. And when they talk about Slater, and you read some of the reviews and things like that, they love him.
Well, I think he's going to end up being one of the really great Origin coaches. In the past, they had Artie Beetson, Wayne Bennett, and of course Fatty Vaughton had his little bit of time there. And I think Fatty was more of he helped with the bonding sessions more than the coaching.
I think so, and most of that had to do with the bar at the at the sporting facility,
the Caxton Hotel or something like that. Yeah, for sure. But look, Billy Slater is a true thinker of the game. He was probably the greatest fullback I've seen, and he definitely is a tactician. He knows that. That's sure.
He's great fullback and one of the all-time greatest Melbourne teams in Melbourne.
Well, Melbourne, win percentage over the 20 years is right up there. I mean, Penrith's sort of getting up there over the last 4 years, but that great Melbourne side. And Craig Bellamy is a great coach, so Slater would have learned off him a lot.
Oh, definitely Bellamy's fantastic.
Yeah, great Canberra player, original Canberra player, Craig Bellamy.
We can just keep talking, so we go off into different things. And he did well in spite of Canberra, didn't he? Maybe he learnt what not to do, mate.
In what, sorry?
Maybe he learnt what not to do by being.
Well, true.
It's not true. You didn't say that.
You could be right there. Yeah, what not to do? Yeah, sure. Yeah, he probably did he's coaching at the opposite end of the Raiders spectrum.
Yeah, I was just thinking, without going too far, I was thinking about David Peachey when we're talking great fullbacks. So we should almost do a whole podcast, great fullbacks.
Well, we've seen some great backs in the past. Look, going back to we probably will leave that for another podcast.
I think it's worth a dig. I mean, there's some incredible things, and it's a position that is extremely important. They're always taking it on with the bombs and so forth, and direct from the back, and they probably don't get as much accolade they should. I think we should give them a real plug.
Well, I think that's a good idea. We'll note, but back to the Origin. What do we do? Where does Madge go from here? I think he's going to have to do a little bit of wholesale sacking. I think just got for other options.
Okay, so it's a young team. They've gone in. They've got done. Do you upend again, or do you stick with them?
Well, look, there's a few guys that might have to go. The way that Travojevic ran out of gas, I can't see him. What's the use of having a prop that can't play for 40 or 50 minutes?
Yeah, and it goes to say that also just because you've got the most amount of caps team doesn't necessarily mean you make the best leader.
Well, that's right. And Isaiah Yeo, who came on as a sub. Isaiah Yeo, who came on as a sub. Look, he tried to take the game by the ball, so to speak. And he just Queensland were just gang tackling him. But I think he needs to come on. I think he needs to start. Spencer Lenu, who came on as a sub, was fairly dynamic and really fired up New South Wales. I think he fired up a few Queensland as well. I think he's got to stay. I did see on the news this afternoon that Liam Martin, who had a great game, is in a moon boot. So I don't know. Yeah, okay. I think he's out. He's out of this weekend's game. So hopefully he's not at the second one, because we really need his dynamic physical presence that really generates. Every time he got the ball, he looked like something's going to happen, and that was missing for most.
Yeah, well, as I said, it's hard to pick a hole in them.
True, it is, and as I said, they're looking at the stats. They did really fill the hole that Munster normally does. All their big guys played well. They gang tackled. Their outside backs were sensational. Yeah. As I said, it looked like the All Blacks running amok. They're all big, fast guys. They all pop ball. They knew someone was going to be. So, going to be very hard for New South Wales to turn it around.
And quickly, even when Walshy, went out, I mean, Fidel came in and look at the game he played.
Had a blinder.
So it's like, oh well, thanks for that. So it was almost like it was a better turnout. Not all respect and everything included in that. I'm not detracting what happened with Walsh in that, but look what happened. Someone stood up. It
played to their strengths, because Cobbo came on and really he really had a blind as well. I mean, he's a big guy, fast. And we did say that in Fortunate Son podcast that never eventuated.
Unfortunate.
The Unfortunate Son.
Fortunate Son, unfortunate potty.
Yeah. So Yeah, it meant that Billy Slater's decision to put him on the bench was a stroke in the end, and New South Wales didn't have an outside back bench, had three front. I think Madge might learn from that.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone who's got to come into the picture, unfortunately, is a great player, alienates a lot of people, but Latrell Mitchell's got to come back into the mix.
Look, he's a talking point, but he does have that flair.
He has.
And he's got that flair, and he's got that. I think he's passionate. I think he would inspire people around.
Yeah, he's just on the outside edge there. I think we missed someone like them. Big and powerful. He does things. He makes things happen, and we sort of do need that. Maybe Moses might get a run for Nico Hines. Yeah, I don't know who else in the forwards we can really look at, but Payne Haas had a really good game. He really ploughed into them. But as I say, a change maybe on the bench. You maybe put Appy in from the Tigers. Yeah, it's hard to say. They just need someone who's creative, and it was a little bit like watching the Canterbury Bulldogs play over the last couple of seasons. They've turned that around, but in the last couple of seasons they had no direction. They got in the red zone attacking and did nothing. They just passed the ball. But yeah, look, I think flair, and I don't know what Madge has got to do. I'm at a bit of a sense there, unless someone really puts their hand up over this next couple of rounds.
I think if he got the want to do it, so he got guts, balls to do it, here is a chance to say, well, we've been done that first game. Let's get it really out there this time and try a whole bunch of stuff and see what happens. I mean, what have you got to lose, really?
We've got nothing to lose at all.
And I think everyone just wants to see them go in with a lot of heart and a lot of strength, and just put it up to the Queenslanders for just show some spirit. I think everyone will be just happy that they put it in.
Yeah, well, I think we'll wind it up because it's
could have been a long one.
Yeah. Madge has got a lot of things to do. And when is the next game on date?
It goes every 2 weeks.
26. So we've got
that's not Australian. That's 4 weeks.
Yeah, it was 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks
yeah,
away.
okay.
So there's going to be a couple of rounds there, and people can put their hands up, and we'll see what happens. So best of luck to all those New South Wales guys who want to get into that team. Yeah, need to produce something over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, the time is right for a change of the guard, and let's see what happens.
Yep, that's it. Sounds good. All right, we'll wrap this one up, and it's goodbye from me, the Sportsologist.
Yeah.
Goodbye from Jetsetter Jordan.
Yeah. Off again.
Cheers.
Yeah.